Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I have a good project for you today. I've had so much fun making this Lumiere out of the pretty paper by Echo Park called Oh Holy Night. So let me show you how I got this together. You're going to need 8 pieces of pattern paper at 2 1/4 inches wide by 3 3/4 inch wide. Next you're going to need some vellum. And I've got 4 pieces here. These are 1 3/4 inches wide by 3 inches high. You also need 1 piece of pattern paper. This is going to be for your base. Now you can just use this as a base, but what I also did was cut out some cereal boxes. I put 2, adhered them together. These are 3 1/8 by 3 1/8. It'll make a really good sturdy base. And then lastly, you need 1 piece of pattern paper for your lid, 2 1/4 by 2 1/2 inches. The next thing you need to do is make some windows for the walls. You're going to end up making a sandwich which consists of pattern paper, vellum, and then pattern paper again. So what you need to do is cut out a little bit of a window out of your pattern paper so that the vellum can peek through. So when we put our tea light in, you're able to see that flickering through the vellum. The most important thing here is that you make sure that you put your die in exactly the same place each and every time so that your Lumiere is pretty symmetrical. And basically all you need to do is just add some PVA glue, add the vellum on one side, then add some PVA glue on the final frame, and you have one wall. So I'm going to go ahead and repeat that now for all 4 walls. Now I did have the option of using this inset, which was the inset to my die, but I decided not to do that. I just wanted to make my first Lumiere just to see what it looked like. I think it looks really amazing, but I think the important thing is to have that lattice to be the same color all the way throughout. So that's what kind of put me off. But definitely you can try going ahead and putting some different shapes on that vellum, as these things do project out when you put the tea light in there. But right now let's go ahead and focus on putting this Lumiere together. So I started off by adding double-sided tape to all the edges of each wall. Next, I reached for this gold washi. This gold star washi was in the All the Stars Are Brightly Shining kit from Aunty Vera. And that was going to be the way that I was going to adhere the 2 panels together. Now you could just do washi by itself, but washi, as we know, is not strong. That's why I decided to do the double-sided tape first. Make sure you burnish that double-sided tape first, and then you add your washi, and then make sure you burnish the washi. You're going to go ahead and flip that over. I applied just 1 roll of double-sided tape right on the middle there, and then I went ahead and added the washi one more time to the inside. This just reinforces your box and it makes it a strong structure. Now for the last panel, I added the washi to one side and let it overhang, and then I flipped the Lumiere over and I matched up the edges best I could. And then I went ahead and added a strip of double-sided tape to the inside, and then once again I added the washi to the inside. So this guy's pretty well reinforced. It's not going to fall apart anytime soon. You're going to have to train it a little bit and burnish it a little bit so that it sits nice and flat, but it will get there. Next, we're going to go ahead and make the base. So I attached 2 cereal boxes to each other so they were nice and thick, and then all you really had to do was add your pattern paper on top. I used PVA glue, and then I thought it would be really nice to just add a little bit of inking to the sides. I chose to do that with Distress Oxide, and I used the color Frayed Burlap. It's now time to attach the Lumiere to the base. And for this, I just used hot glue. You have the option of putting it on the diagonal or just straight. And I just used my ruler there to take off any extra glue that was seeping at the bottom. Next, it's time for the lid, and you're going to basically do the same thing. So I just tapered off the edges here. I used the clipping of one to go ahead and make sure that the rest were even. And you're going to add double-sided tape to the inside of both the lid and the Lumaire frame. I went ahead and scored 1/4 of an inch off the lid, and then I attached double-sided tape to the inside and the outside of that score. And then I decided to add hot glue to the inside so that it would hold properly. This is where I discovered that the inside of the paper that I had used did not match the outside of the paper. So I ended up cutting another piece of the patterned paper. I attached it with PVA glue to the inside of the lid, and then I covered the join between the Lumaire and the lid with some gold washi tape. The construction of the Lumaire is now done, and now it's the fun part, which is decorating. I've got a little box here of pre-made flowers, some that have been sent by friends, some that I've made myself. I am reaching for this Christmas gem ribbon from the Stars Are Shining Brightly kit from Aunty Vera, and I'm attaching that to the top there. It helps weight the lid down, and it also looks pretty amazing. So I add that on with hot glue. I then decide to put flowers all around the edges, but I feel like something's missing. It doesn't have that pop. So I end up reaching for this pack of flowers, which had been in my stash for forever. I think I bought it like 3 Christmases ago. And this is exactly what I need because the colors are quite Christmassy and they complement that plaid paper really well. So I'm just going to go ahead now and add some flowers to the bottom corners and the top corners. This is just an intuitive process. It's whatever looks good to your eye and how it feels. And I do recognize that it's a 3D object and it's really hard to show you what I'm doing. So you'll see the end product in the pictures that I show you. I then reach for this Kaiser Craft Collections kit. And I just needed a little bit of extra, and I used the joy sentiment at the very top, and then I did choose some elements to actually tack onto the vellum. And these look amazing when you put the tea light on. They kind of just flicker through the pattern. And lastly, I decided to go for some gold thread. I kind of just put it around the top there and let some of the thread kind of show from the side. It looks really cool. I really like how that topped it up. And my Lumaire is now ready, and now it's time to test it out. So I'm reaching for my battery powered tea light. The room light has now been switched off. I am then switching off my side light and finally my left side light. And here we go. This is what it looks like with the tea light flickering from the inside and showing through the vellum. I really love how this turned out. It's so cool. I feel like I want to go ahead now and make 10 more and have them all over my house. And I probably will. So thank you so much for joining me, you guys. I hope you enjoyed watching me make this project. I hope you do give it a go. Please let me know in the comments below if you've made one and if you enjoyed it. Thank you so much. Merry Christmas, everybody, and I'll see you in my next video.